Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Bison Video Blog, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual with Jeff Kolpak. I'm Dom Izzo. North Dakota State gets back to work this week after a bye week. The Missouri Valley Football Conference lid lifter, the conference opener with the University of South Dakota coming in. Only Valley game happening this weekend. The Jackrabbits play with a non-conference game with Mercyhurst. This is
a big rivalry with Mercyhurst.
This is a fun way to start the league. There's no easing in for either team here, Jeffrey, with this one.
Well, there's a little history with South Dakota and NDSU, and really it's been the underdog mentality of South Dakota coming in and knocking out the Bison. We all know, we've talked about the meltdown in Vermilion last year, and that was the most serious meltdown I've ever seen with a Bison football team ever, and that's a lot of years too. So you think Tim Polisic's got this team?
Oh, well, I think we heard that at the press conference last week. Now, it needs to be remembered that the Coyotes have won the last two games in the regular season. Sandwiched in there is the Bison beatdown in Vermilion that happened in the playoffs in 2023 as well.
And don't forget, Colt Payton played really well in that game. I mean, he had a couple runs that you went, wow, okay, this guy can run, and we know he can run. But now we've seen that he can throw the ball and he can throw the rock, and this is going to be a test. There's so many tests we haven't seen in the Missouri Valley. I mean, everybody's been okay, been good here and there.
Some flashy performances,
and some not. But now it's time to find out, I think, okay, who's good in the Valley and who's not. I mean, Northern Iowa losing at Utah Tech, that's a head-scratcher. There's been, Drake giving South Dakota State somewhat of a game. That's a head-scratcher. Indiana State going Montana and just getting killed. I mean, so we got to find out who's in, who's out right now.
I think UND, the way they've played through the first four
games,
I think they're in. Notice that
they're
part of that top half. Southern Illinois, how they played through the first four games, has served notice.
And Illinois State, I watched this game. They should have lost. They should have lost to North Alabama. North Alabama just had to kick an extra point with 33 seconds left. Didn't do it. Hits the upright, and they should have lost the game, and then Illinois State wins in double.
Let me throw one more in, mate. Doug Phillips and Youngstown State. Youngstown's 3-1, and they got
Played
a nice
Michigan
roll win at Towson. So
pretty tough.
Right. So maybe we have to rethink that as well.
Well, South Dakota State in 2 weeks goes to Youngstown.
Correct.
So that'll be a game.
It's a night game, too.
Yeah, we'll find out what those teams are made of.
All right, what do we know about South Dakota? South Dakota lost its first two games. They got blown out at Iowa State, and I think you and I were both of the mindset, if you're a top 5 FCS team, you can't lose by 50, which they did. Then they followed up the following week and lost at Lamar. And if you're an FCS contender, you can't lose to Lamar.
Well, let's talk about South Dakota and what they lost. They lost their first two games, but they also lost a lot to the transfer portal. And I don't know if they've really revamped their roster, recovered it. I mean, it starts with Aiden Bauman. Aiden Bauman is the quarterback, right? He's the one guy that came back, and he's not there yet. He's 45 of 50 or 89, Dom. That's 51%. You need to get 65, 70% as your quarterback. Their top receiver is a running back, L.J. Phillips. And so that's, to me, some troubling signs there for the Coyote offense.
Well, they lost 2 All-American offensive linemen in the spring portal. They lost their starting middle linebacker in the spring portal, Gary Bryant III, to Syracuse. Then they lose their All-American running back in that loss to Lamar to Charles Pierre Jr. for the season. So everything has been loss, not necessarily a game. We're going to talk about L.J. Phillips in a minute because that's been a big game for them. But I don't know any teams, frankly. I don't know if North Dakota State could recover from what South Dakota has endured.
It's a lot. I think South Dakota State has recovered better than maybe we thought, losing all those guys. Not sure about South Dakota. Let's talk about L.J. Phillips. I mean, let's get right to him. I mean, that's their offense right now. He had 35 carries against Drake. 35 carries. The NDSU record is by Rod Malone, like 47. But all the top 10 carries in NDSU football history, it's all Division II, except for Kyle Steffes. In 2005, he had like 33 carries or something like that. And so, I mean, this is their offense right now, number 24. That's it. Aiden Bauman's not throwing the ball very well, and they found him.
So look at his stat line. He went for 301 against Northern Colorado 2 weeks ago. This past weekend, he had 4 touchdowns against Drake. He told our colleague John Gaskins that he got a knee injury during high school. That scared off because there were big schools interested in him that just didn't materialize. You brought up on Hot Mic, and I think it's a great point. Why wasn't this guy playing already? Now, granted, you had Charles Pierre Jr. as your number one guy, but this is going to be a legitimate threat for the Bison defense.
But again, let's look at the competition. I mean, who have they played? Who has NDSU played? I mean, these are two teams that really haven't played anybody yet, and now I think we'll find out, okay, where they stand in the first game of the Valley. NDSU, Tennessee State was not good.
Nope.
I mean, just
I don't
not
think
good.
SEMO's very good either.
Citadel got shut out.
Yep, Mercer got them.
Mercer 38-0. And so they haven't played anybody.
Yep.
South Dakota hasn't played anybody. We just don't know what's...
I guess I would say I don't feel that much different about the Coyotes now than I did 2 weeks ago when they lost to Lamar. Who they beat, they should have lost to Northern Colorado, frankly.
Yep.
That Northern Colorado had a chance to win that game and got sacked on a third down. So you got to give nod to the USD defense. But frankly, they should be 1-3 coming into this game and not 2-2.
They needed to give the ball to LJ Phillips 19 times against Drake. He had 19 carries against Drake. He's had like 71 carries, and most of that in 2 games. I almost feel like he's beat up coming into this game.
I don't know if we underestimated the loss of Carter Bell as well. He graduated. That they don't have a guy like a Carter Bell to go down the field because he's done that against UND. Javion Phelps did that last year against the Bison. Like, I think Jake Martins is their leading receiver right now, and he's not necessarily a deep threat that you got to be worried about if you're the Bison defense.
Well, again, I mean, Travis Johansson, you could say what you want about Bob Nielsen. I mean, I thought he built that team.
Did a great job.
I still feel like he should be coaching the team. I really do. But he's not there, and now he's helping Craig Bowles save college football. But it's tough when you lose those kind of players. NDSU lost 3 quality players.
Yep.
South Dakota lost, 7 or 8 quality players?
The guys we just named. I mean, easy. And that was after Bauman made the decision. The Coyotes lose in the national semifinals.
He went through senior day.
Right?
We saw it.
Right.
Yeah.
He's done. But then after they lost in Bozeman, he announced that I'm going to come back because he figured that was the team he was coming back with. We asked him when we were in Sioux Falls in July, do you regret this decision? I don't think he was, obviously, what's he going to say?
He's not going to say no, yeah.
But it got to be in the back recess of his mind, like, this is not what I signed up for.
Well, especially at the offensive line.
Correct.
And again, I go back to the completion percentage, 51%, and against that competition, too. He's not playing Montana, not Montana State, and he's completing 51% of your passes. There's a disconnect there, for sure.
You'll see the highlights, and Bison fans know this of him. He's not a mobile guy.
No.
So, I mean, Lamar was getting to him a couple weeks ago, and if the Bison defensive line, which has been humming so far, if they can get after it, this could be a really long day.
See Lamar, that nose guard just went right by the center, right up the gut, and almost sacked Bauman there, and that led to that interception.
Right.
I mean, so here it is. Look at 3 guys right on him right now. Boom.
And he can't move. That's not his. No. He can slide a little bit, but we can't compare to Cole Payton or anything like that. He's not that kind of quarterback. His arm is fine. There's never been an issue with that, and I think that's why he was considering leaving and trying to go the FBS route again for his 5th year of college football.
But I have to wonder if the offensive line play is the reason why LJ Phillips is a leading receiver.
I would,
because it's quick outs out of the backfield.
Out of that.
Yep.
I'm interested in how the Bison prepare for this, knowing they've had 2 weeks. And Polasek talked to us about at the press conference last Tuesday he said it twice to me, like, we know this team has beaten us the last 2 years in a row, that I think there is a singular focus that this is the conference opener, it's homecoming, we're going to win this football game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's easy to get up. I mean, Tim Polasek shouldn't have to say anything.
Correct.
To get his team up for this game. If you were on the Bison football team and you were in Vermilion last year, I don't think how do you sleep this week?
Right. You just go back and play the final 4 minutes of that game. After Cam Miller scored to make it 28-17, that game is over. And it ended up being South Dakota won the game. And that alone, for anybody, Toby Anene was on the field on that last drive, or Logan Kopp was on the field on that last drive. That's got to be inspiration enough, you would think.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, and then you add all those other factors, a week off. But, South Dakota is the giant killer.
Correct.
I mean,
we saw that.
Yeah.
They've done it twice to the Bison in Fargo. Last thing before we go, it's a Bison Hall of Fame weekend. We're going to have, hopefully, Craig Dahl on our Bison Game Day show on Saturday morning. I consider him, of the Division I crew, the leader of the NFL movement. I remember when Dahl got to the NFL Combine, he had the best 3-cone drill. Yeah. He ended up signing with the Giants. He won a Super Bowl with the Giants. He was the guy that started the run of Division I players to go to the National Football
I'll never
League.
forget Craig. My best memory of Craig Dahl is Cal Davis. The Bison are down 24-0, and Steve Walker led the big comeback, and they won 28-24. But Craig Dahl played on one hand.
Yeah, the club.
And he had an interception that led to the winning touchdown, or with the tying touchdown. So it was that guy is. It's well deserved.
Another under-recruited guy that Craig Bohl found out of Mankato and ended up being a really, really good pro, and he's going in to the Bison Athletic Hall of Fame, which will feature that coming up on Saturday.
Hall of Fame, what are we going to do in 10 years?
Well, we better start inducting guys now because the backlog is getting crazy for the Division I guys.
That's just football. I mean,
holy cow. Right. We're not talking any other sports. Softball, track, basketball, volleyball been really good. We got to get football taken care of.
And they got to induct you sometime, too.
You go first. No. Your dad's already in. We got to get Jeffrey in. Don't forget, Bison Game Day live, 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Note the game time, 1 o'clock start, 12:50 with the air, with Bison postgame live to wrap it up on Saturday, for which will be a packed and loud Fargo Dome for the Missouri Valley Conference opener for South Dakota. That's this week's Bison Video Blog, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. For Jeff Kolpak, I'm Dom Izzo. We'll see everybody on Saturday.